guess what we have here today? More paper Balisongs. I don't remember when this was, but probably about 2-3 years ago I posted up a video of a paper Balisong, and since then I've been getting a lot of requests of making a tutorial. Well, from then till now, I'm trying to work a way, or at least a set of instructions I can probably convey to you guys clearly enough how to make one of these. Problem is, it requires a lot of folding and a lot of prior knowledge of previous videos I've posted, like how to make your hardened paper, the way these supports actually would try to work. It's pretty much a folding sword of my design, if you will. Of course, I'm not saying I designed a Balisong, I'm saying the way I made the Balisong. This is getting confusing already. So I want to show you guys what I have so far. Of course, the original paper Balisong that I posted in that video I no longer have, because that was constructed entirely out of paper, save for the blade. This, I believe, is the... Actually, this might have been the second Balisong that did not appear on camera. I don't exactly remember. But this blade is supported with wood. The handle is supported with wood. My original one was entirely out of paper, save for the blade. Again, I think I recovered that part. So I guess this would be version 1.1. The handle has just a small thing of wood in there on the back side to support this, to make it a little bit sturdier. That's why this one has lasted so long already. Problem with this, it's thin hardened paper. All this stuff is folded, the handles are, although this is papered over. And I would say this is probably the easiest way. That probably takes about, I'd say about 3 hours to make. What really takes your time is getting these two to clear each other properly, as you can see. The original Balisong had what is pretty much let's see if I can get the camera to focus, pretty much a very thin wire, which I pretty much cut off of a paper clip and melted 2 BBs onto the end. You can see how loose and imprecise this is, and if these pop off you can't really do much except for using a lighter, and we have toxic reasons because you're melting plastic. Of course, these pins would be made the same way, although this one, being 1.1, is slightly different. This probably, I would call it 2.0. I see the wooden inserts run the entire length of the what's this called? The handle. I remember I had one prior to this one, but the wooden supports only came up this close and did not support the pivots. So they broke easily, which, as you can see, because I no longer have this, I try to use a lighter to melt the hot glue to get this stuff to stick again. But these pins, they are made by rolling up paper. Now, to give you an idea, these are airsoft pellets. They're 6mm. This hole is slightly smaller than 6mm, which I found a lot of people can't roll paper that thin, to that diameter. So that's another problem that I can't exactly teach ahead, because not many people can roll paper that thin. As you can see, something like this. Pinned in the same way. This is a better shot of how the pin was made. Held in by airsoft pellets as well. Of course, I made this one red, so when I'm holding it, I know which side is the bite handle when I'm spinning this thing around. Of course, I don't own a real steel one. I really want a real steel one. I want that Benchmade, except I don't have $300 to blow on it. I did play with a friend of mine's, and believe it or not, working on the paper ones, you really can practice your skills to work on the real ones. I'll tell you that much. This is the one I used to flip around. This one's about a year and a half. Fairly old, rugged construction, I guess. That's why it's probably lasted me so long. But again, the commonality between these two is that they are folded. About 3 or 4 hours worth of work. A lot of people are probably slamming at their keyboard saying, go buy, get a $10 one. Well, here's the thing. Go look at Cutter Lover's video and what he says about cheapo Balisongs. Trust me, I had one break on me before. It was not fun. This I would probably call 3.0, just to keep things clear. This took me 2 days and a power drill. I could not use my hole punchers, if you will. Like, let me tell you a little story here. To get the 6mm holes, standard hole punchers are slightly under 6mm, about that size. I broke 3 of them punching these holes. Alright? They are a pain in the ass. So this time I decided just, screw the hole puncher, take a drill to it. So unless you have a power drill that with a 6mm drill bit, yeah, good luck. Although this one down here is much smaller. This is probably like, second smallest size I got down here for the tang pin. Simply hot glued into place as well. The pins are also made the same way, although this one's a little loose on the tolerance. With these, they slide around a little bit. But as far as that, the channel for which the blade goes into is ridiculously tight. Although this is my first one, so my next one I'm going to be able to probably increase this just a little bit to allow it to swing a little more. But until then, this is still in its break-in period, so it's a little stiff. But anyways, this one is all hardened paper, cut from just one square quarter sheet of hardened paper. No wood whatsoever. I would say this is much sturdier. So I guess this one you can actually truly call a paper balisong because it's entirely out of paper. But other than that, these are, I want to say, ridiculously complex because all these measurements here, they're going by centimeters. In case you want to know, from this side to this side, it's about 24mm. The blade is 18. Thickness is roughly about 9mm, I want to say. 9 or 8mm, somewhere about there. So this is actually pretty sleek, pretty thin. Just to give you an idea of what scale you're working on. Of course, you slip ever so slightly, and this will not be as clean as this. As you see with a folded one, you can see the inside of the blade. If I get the camera angle right. As you can see there, when closed up, locked, you can still see the inside of the blade. That's supposed to happen. Same thing with this one, although it's gotten a little bit better on this one. Of course, the latch has worn out. I got to replace that. These were also cut out for where this tang pin would also fold into, as you see. The tang pin on this one is, focus, this small little thing right here. Of course, it just kind of holds it like that. Fairly tight tolerances. This is probably just going to hang on my wall showpiece because I don't know what this is capable of just yet. But if I'm going to teach you if I'm going to teach this tutorial to you, it's probably going to be using this method because this is just overly complicated folding. Even I don't have the dimensions down on this one yet. So these are pretty much just one-offs. This one, I could probably repeat the design over and over and over again. And that is what we have of paper balisongs and why a tutorial has not been released yet for this. Overly complicated, simply put.